Well, back-to-back blows for the Trump administration's immigration policy coming overnight. In one, a federal judge ruling DACA must be restored.
And then in the other, a judge deciding the government is entirely responsible for finding the parents who were separated from their children and deported without them. ABC News White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is in New Jersey, where the president is on vacation this weekend. Tara, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan and Eva. The president has said on the campaign trail this summer that he vows to get even tougher on immigration, but he's facing some pushback from the judicial branch, testing the powers of his presidency. Overnight, the president's zero-tolerance immigration policy suffering two legal setbacks. A federal judge ruling that the administration must restore DACA, an Obama-era program offering deportation relief for some 700,000 undocumented immigrants who were brought to the country illegally as children, known as dreamers.
Some people call it dreamers. It's not dreamers. Don't fall into that trap.
But the administration has 20 days to appeal the decision. The Department of Justice is ready to fight it out in court, saying in a statement it will, quote, continue to vigorously defend this position. The president suggesting earlier he's ready to go to the Supreme Court.
We had a couple of court decisions which is going to force an issue to the Supreme Court that shouldn't be forced to the Supreme Court.
Judge John Bates, a George W. Bush appointee, is the third judge to order that the program be restarted. Bates called the president's decision to end DACA in September, quote, arbitrary and capricious, and, quote, inadequately explained. In the past, the president has tied a solution for dreamers to securing funding for the border wall.
And we're going to start to get very nasty over the wall.
In another setback yesterday, a San Diego federal judge rejecting the government's attempt to shift the burden of reunifying the remaining 572 children separated from their parents at the southern border to outside charities. Instead, the judge shot down the administration's request for help, ruling that the government is responsible for tracking down parents, some of whom have been deported or gone into hiding. Tonight, President Trump heads to another rally in Ohio, but not without some controversy. He's reigniting that feud with LeBron James, a hometown hero there, who has accused the president of trying to divide the country through sports. President Trump tweeted that a CNN interview, quote, makes him look smart, which isn't easy to do. He added, quote, I like Mike, in an apparent reference to Michael Jordan. Dan?
Tara, thank you. We appreciate it. Joining us now from Texas to talk about all of this is ABC News chief political analyst Matthew Dowd. Matthew, good morning. Let's start with this LeBron James dust-up that Tara just mentioned. So the president is heading to Ohio tonight for a rally. Even before he leaves, he's insulting the state's favorite son. Do you think that is going to matter at all for him?
This is such a political and, I think, moral mistake for what he just did in this. It's a little bit like Ali, the equipment manager from Hoosiers, challenging LeBron James to one-on-one in what we have here. Keep in mind a couple of things. LeBron James has been voted one of the greatest athletes of all time. Donald Trump, by many historians, is seen as one of the worst presidents of all time. LeBron James is a beloved, probably the most beloved athlete today. Donald Trump has the lowest approval ratings of any president today. And finally, the interesting thing is LeBron James announced his foundation this week that he wanted to help vulnerable families, hundreds of vulnerable families with education, transportation, food, and everything they need, while simultaneously Donald Trump's administration is separating families at the border, leaving many vulnerable families uncared for. It's an amazing thing that he would challenge somebody, and now he's going to a state where LeBron James brought them their only NBA championship in their history in Cleveland.
Yes, but I take your point, but every time the president has juiced or goosed these cultural controversies, it seems to have redounded to his benefit with his base.
Well, I don't think his base is moved by this. I think what it does, much more importantly, is solidifies the opposition to Donald Trump. And it raises questions, Dan, about whether or not there are racist tinge elements to this. He seems to refer to successful black people as dumb. He did it with Maxine Waters, the congresswoman. He's done it with Don Lemon, a broadcaster. And now he's done it with LeBron James. So I don't think it fundamentally affects his base, but it does make the people that are opposed to him much more opposed to him.
Yeah, and he did refer to folks who were kneeling during the national anthem as SOBs. But let's move on, though, to immigration. There's a lot happening right now with the Dreamers, child separations, the president's ongoing push for the wall. How is this whole issue of immigration likely to play in the midterms? We're more than 90 days out right now.
Well, I don't think there'll be specifics. I think people won't vote on these specific issues, but they'll look at them in a broad way. And they're going to look at it as, is this a president who's compassionate? And is this a president who's running a competent government, doing the job the government needs to do? And all of these issues point to problems on both of those. From DACA to the separation of families to everything done, it shows, one, a White House that's not compassionate in what's going on, and two, it undermines any level of competence the government has. So I think voters put these issues specifically in a broader judgment, and I think that's not going to help the GOP when they go into these midterms.
Matthew Dowd weighing in from Texas. Matthew, we always appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.